Oh, sorry guys. I have been having no sound. Let's start all over again. Oh God. Sorry. Thank you, Awesome, for that wonderful text there. That's why we need you as my director on on the comment section. Let me start all over again because I've been talking to myself, and I wish you could come to the studio and then we share this particular platform. Now, let me start from the top. This is 60 minutes. 60 minutes is a program within Africa 24 where we want to share the story behind this Gen Z movement and the direction it's taking and the casualties in this particular movement. First, this is Afrik. If you have not subscribed to Afrik, make sure that you subscribe to uh, Afrik 24 on YouTube. Go to our Facebook page and also make sure you follow us on Facebook on Afrik. Our Twitter handle is also Afrik 24. Make sure you also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram and any other social media where you will find Afrik 24. On TikTok, we are also very much available. Afrik 24 or True TV. You can also find us having a conversation about our country. Welcome to 60 Minutes of Deliberations, where we dive deep into the art of Kenyans' Gen Z demonstrations. Today, I will try to unpack the layers of youth activism that have taken the streets by storm. From the digital backgrounds to the real world impacts, we analyze and the drive behind the movement and the government response. Of course, the government response initially was pathetic. So stay tuned as we break down the complexities and the generational outcry that the change that they need in the country. This thing is beyond just the finance bill. It is about governance. It's about corruption. It's about everything, the injustices that these young people have seen happening in government and their choice for representation also being interfered with by the political class. Nobody is spared, whether you are in the opposition or in government. This talk is about you. This talk is about how you have been representing the people, and especially these young people. The Gen Z demonstrations in Kenya has been significant, very significant. The background of this protest was sparked by, of course, the tax hikes that you saw. There's 16% VAT on bread, the eco levy, uh, the tax on digital content, things like that really is packed them. Some of them are consumers of some of the products. So this is what they are saying down the street that they don't want the finance bill. But what are the kind of demographics that we see on Gen Z? Gen Z, if you are not on TikTok, then you are not a Gen Z. Forget about people like Pastor Kanyari who are on TikTok and everybody else and myself who sometimes go into TikTok to express our points and views on particular issues. But the main consumers of TikTok are Gen Zs. They are every day they're having a conversation about our country and about the finance bill. And you will be surprised this movement is now worldwide. I saw Gen Z Virginia, I've seen Gen Z Washington, I've seen Gen Z moving like bushfire throughout the world. And what is the government response? Initially, the government response was these boys, these school kids are clueless. They don't know what they're doing and all that. But now, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, has expressed his readiness to have talks with the protesters. So, will they select a representative to have talks with the president? I wonder how this will play because this is a faceless protest. Nobody knows who's leading this protest. The government or the security agencies keep on guessing that this is the one. Like they kidnapped, they abducted that young man who claimed that is, who said is the best data analyst in the country. A guy who is so good in IT. Wamepotea na yeye, I don't know whether ameshapatikana, but William Ruto, if you're listening to this, or your handlers listening to this, because right now you are in each and every social platform. I said this so many months ago that the only thing that will bring William Ruto's government down is the taxes, nothing else. The taxes will bring your government down. And I keep on and I repeat it, the issue of taxes, if it's not addressed properly, this thing will continue up to 2027. And remember guys, this conversation has to go on. We have to speak about it. We have to talk about what is really happening in to our people. Awesome. Thank you very, very much. I am waiting for Goodia and everybody else who is out there to come and join me in this deliberation. This is 60 minutes on Afrique 24. We cannot miss to discuss the big day, which is tomorrow. We have seen the political class trying to. I saw earlier today. There's another movement called Kamkunji Pressure Group. I think originating from Kibra. They also said they want to join the movement. My fear: the politicians are trying to hijack this thing, making some moves that. We, of course, will jeopardize what the GNZ want to achieve. And in that, we have seen other demonstrations which were not organized before, which were chaotic, which had a lot of looting. The Gen Zs are very, very organized. Please, I am urging, as much as the political class want to be part of this movement, please let these Gen Zs do their thing. You have failed them. You have failed them. And I keep on repeating, I am part of that failure. I am part of that failure. You have failed this generation. Wacha wafanye job yao. Wacha wafanye job. Wacha ni kujifanya sasa ndio. Hey, mimi nilikuwa nimesemaga hivi na hivi. Hakuna. Hii story is bigger than you. Hii story ni bigger than most of us. So please, 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 I am urging you, wherever you are, this generation is serious, and this generation wants to make changes in the country. The mistakes that we have done before will not be seen in this generation. This generation is talking about corruption. This generation is talking about what they are seeing, and what they are seeing is very, very sad. What they are seeing is very, 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 very sad. And be part of this conversation. I urge you to join this deliberation. I will be sharing with you a few clips of what has been happening around the country. Who is saying what, and the politicians who are hiding right now, the politicians who are scared, who have been showing off their billions of shillings the other day, but right now they are in hiding. This is serious. This movement, hapana machezo. I saw a clip of some leaders. I won't share it. Well, kama hujaiona vizuri, wacha nikuchezee tena. Huyo ni Oscar Sudi. Ni kubaya. Kubaya, ile kiburi imeisha. Naambia kiburi imeisha. Kiburi ile hao jamaa walikuwa nayo, it's over. Kiburi imeisha. Buru, if you are somewhere in the States, come, please join me in the conversation. I know you're out there, and we start this particular discussion. Well, this conversation has to go on, and we are glad to be part of this, to be part of the eve of the big demonstrations. We could not miss to have this kind of discussion. Kenya Rebel, I hope that you will join me in a few, so that we can have we can set the stage rolling to have this big conversation. Earlier on, I saw so many things happening. A lot has been happening, and so many. I want to play for you some of the clips that.
Okay, good morning, Church. Morning. My name is Michael. I'd like to start with the Thanksgiving first. On both Tuesday and Thursday, my sister and I went for the protest in the CBD. So I'd like to thank God for his favor, because we could have easily been Rex, Masai, or Billy. Secondly, the NCCK Church and the mosque have come out condemning the finance bill. So as we continue paying for the country, I think it's deeply important that we get the stance of the IC Church as well.
I'll pray for the country, because we do not know the will of God on the finance bill, and we don't know what is behind it. So, Michael, you'll allow me to pray for the will of God. Yeah.
Well, you saw that. You saw that young man just stepping out and saying, you know, the Gen Z have now turned violent, which means the movement is heading to failure. Awesome. This is what is happening. This is what is happening. The political class, the people who are on the minority side, the people who said no, they are now organizing some groups in the pretext that they are part of this Gen Z movement. They want to hijack the whole process and own it up. That is what is happening now to the Gen Z movement. And they need to be very, very careful. If there was somebody advising them, then they need to change tact a bit, because this other group, they are not using technology. They have inflated, they have gone into these groups. We have seen the politicians donating stuff and all that, and saying some of their supporters to join the movement. That is the danger. That is the danger. This is a process that they were not part of initially. Now they are claiming to be part of the process. I've seen the Kamkunji, I don't know, pressure group being formed very, very fast. And of course, you could see clearly that these are people who are mobilized with money to come to the gathering. Gen Zs are not mobilized with cash. They are mobilized with ideology. And the ideology is change, the change that they want. So please, don't bother these young people with and make them look bad by coming in and trying to hijack the process. This is something I saw in the morning movement, but in the same group, there were young people who were saying, you know, this political class have failed us for a long time, so we don't want to be part of them. Some of the issues, I mean, these are some of the things that these young people are talking about. No, one by one. What does Murkomen's 3,489,048 shillings Rolex Yacht Master watch mean for Kenyan taxpayers? Provide clean water. 3.5 million could fund the installation of approximately 7 bowls in rural areas, assuming an average cost is 500,000 per bowl. Unaona hayo mahesabu? Nayo ndio mahesabu ya Gen Z. Sanitary towels, 4,487 girls could receive sanitary towels for a year at the cost of Kenya shillings 65 per girl per month. Support disabled individuals. Imagine the impact of 3.5 million. Could provide 140 wheelchairs to an average cost of 25,000 shillings each, greatly enhancing mobility and independence of many disabled individuals. JSS teachers, this amount could fund the salaries of 100 junior secondary school teachers for a month, each earning 35,000. This could help alleviate teachers' shortage and improve education quality for students. Mumejionea wenyewe. Have a sneak preview. I'll be loading another angle of all this. Hizi ni vitu tutachambua hapa kwa Afrika. Tutazichambua zote so that you have a rough idea, a clue of what is annoying these young people. That is just one of them. I'm loading for you another one. Now, what does Ruto's 6,798,354 Bulgari Octa Finismo watch, whatever that is, mean to the Kenyan taxpayers? How many years would it take a Kenyan making 50,000 per month to earn Ruto's watch? 135 months, which translates to 11 years. How many KCCPS students would be sponsored in the first year by William Ruto donating his watch? 246 students will be sponsored by Dr. William Ruto donating his watch. How many years of public service commission intern making 25,000 a month would earn from Ruto's watch? That translates to 271 months, which is 22 years. Na hiyo saa imetosha kulipa intern for miaka 22. Boss, ni kubaya. Ni kubaya. Guys, I've shared the link here. Now, Osam is saying Ruto has been in government for so many years, so he can easily afford that. I agree with you, but you see, when you're a leader, there is a kind of image that you want to portray as a leader. You don't want to be portray this image that you are filthy rich. You want to and ruling against the poor. It's the same thing when you wear such a watch and you go to visit, you go to a function where the United States president is, and you look at the watch he's wearing, is cheaper than what you're wearing, and you're going to borrow money from them. They wonder what kind of person you are. I mean, sometimes you just have to use your brain to realize that, you know, whatever it is, wacha nifanye according to Awesome. Those are what? Those are according to Awesome. Those are nonsense, according to my opinion. I think a leader, there's a way a leader should portray himself out there, and it is important that leaders have, you know, you can't brag outside, even if you have worked for I don't know how many years, and you wear suits for 2 million and all that, against the people you are leading, who are visibly and arguably living below $1, then it doesn't make sense. Again, it also doesn't make sense that when you got into power is when we start seeing this kind of luxuries. So Awesome, these things are not adding up. Whatever you are saying does not add up. Murkomen has not been there for so long. So what do you argue? What do you say about Murkomen? About his watch and all that he's wearing? Because initially he didn't have this. When he got to become a CS, is when you're seeing is the sneakers that he's wearing. People are zooming into the watch that he's wearing, and people are asking questions. People are asking questions. It's not even about the watches, the kind of properties that these people are buying and developing. There is data for everything. There's data for everything. So these Gen Zs are saying that this is our taxes financing these luxurious lives. What do you make of, you know, a president going out, you know, hiring a jet for 200 million? Yeah, 200 million, and not taking the national carrier, which is Kenya Airways. You know, you could just take a whole Boeing out there for 200 or 100 million and fly with it everywhere that you want to fly. So his argument the last time did not make sense. So some of these things, as much as you on the comment section is supporting William Ruto, there are things that he has done that are mistakes, and maybe they are informed by wrong choices by advisors, or maybe he just thinks that he can do it, but he can do it, or his friends can do it. Even if your friends are doing it for you, then definitely you need to know how the public will react to such a situation. So the public will definitely react to such information. They can react negatively depending on which side they are, or positively depending on the side they are. If they are your supporters, they will maybe look the other way. But if they are not your supporters, they will question. Remember out there that this government is only in power because they won by 200,000 votes only. So the rest are in the opposition. And you can also imagine that the people who voted for them, the people who had got very high hopes in this government, were the Mamambogas, and they feel that they've been left behind. They have been left behind. Maybe Awesome, you can answer that question. Why did they have to leave the Mamamboga behind? Remember the promises that William Ruto gave, like the ASLA fund. Where do you hear of the ASLA fund anymore? The ASLA fund fizzled out. The loans that the youth were to be given just ended abruptly at some point, and nobody is talking about. This is the kind of wastage that we are saying, that the government of William Ruto is wasteful, and they need to style up. But this does not stop only with William Ruto's government. It goes all along. It cuts across both sides. I will tell you, even those in minority, if you see how the county governments are being run and all that, if you do a lifestyle audit of the executive in the counties, in all the counties, you'll find that there's a lot of embezzlement. We are asking EACC, my generation is asking EACC, Bishop Oginde. Bishop Oginde, you need to act. You need to act. Posing on camera and your officers coming on on microphones on TV and telling us they are investigating this and this. Then somebody is taken to a police station. The next thing they're still back in office. You need to prosecute these people. You need to have a strong case submitted to the director of prosecution so that people can be prosecuted. That is, corruption is what is hurting this country. Even if we pass this good budget, or even if Gen Z propose the best budget for the country, so long as we don't close the loopholes in corruption in Kenya, we'll still have a problem. We will still have a problem in our country. We need to close the loopholes, the gaps in corruption in our country, so that we can have a good country. So these are some of the things that I am talking about right now, because even if we get a budget proposed by a genius and we don't close the loopholes that are in the country, the loopholes are the loopholes of corruption, then we are still going to be going this deep hole. If we don't do a debt audit, nobody is talking about the debt audit. My demand for this group is to really try and if they are going to meet the president, to tell them that please, let us do a debt audit and know how much this country owes outside there. Thank you, Goodyear, for being part of the conversation. Earlier on, we were lost in between some conversations which I thought were going a different direction. But we stick to our conversation. The conversation here in Africa is we analyze in depth without any biasness of what is happening in the country. What is happening in the country is right now, we don't know. If we wake up tomorrow in the morning and the policemen in Kenya decide to take a knee in honor of Rex, then that will be a revolution. Believe you me, that will be a revolution. The Gen Zs have said that they need, they want the army, the forces to be part of them tomorrow in their march. They have requested them to join. I don't know. I doubt whether the Kenya Army can get out of the barracks and join the Gen Zs. But for the first time, let us have empathy. For the first time, let a policeman not kill a Kenyan because of a peaceful demonstration. Those young people didn't deserve to die. Those young people didn't deserve to be shot from the back. Yeah, those people was, of course, scared, running away from the policemen, and they were shot. They were shot. So some of these things, I blame the police, and of course, they need not to react with such a brutal force. You can even shoot somebody on the leg, on the hip, and all to destabilize them. But shooting to kill, why do you have to shoot somebody to kill? Hiyo ndio shida. Hey, I'm joined here by Mburu. Mburu, please put your mic on, put your camera on so that we can see you and join the conversation. Kindly put your camera on. Now, if you're joining me in Africa 24, wherever you are, make sure you've subscribed to Afrique. This is 60 minutes in Afrique. We analyze what we expect in tomorrow's demo. Mburu, please introduce yourself. Tell people where you are and why you have not shaved your beard. Hey, unmute, please.
How are you? How are you, Mzalendo?
I'm doing fine.
Yes, I'm also good. And yes, I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, I want to become like a prophet of war. That's why I haven't shaved my beard. Anyway, as you have heard, our viewers, my name is Jeff Boro. I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri, and I have come to make my contribution in Afrique 24, pertaining what is happening in our country, Kenya. We love Kenya. As much as we are far away from home, we always think about our country because we love our country, we care for our country. Our people, or most of our people, are still back in Kenya, and therefore we have a lot to do with our country. Yes, Mzalendo.
Tomorrow is the eve of the big demonstration. Today, tomorrow we are having the big demonstration. Today is the eve of that big demonstration that the Gen Z have promised. What do you think that will happen tomorrow? What is your expectation in the finance bill, regarding the finance bill?
My expectation, Mr. Mzalendo, is this. Number one, the Gen Z or Gen Z, whichever, I don't know how they are pronouncing that. They need to come up with a proposal telling the country what exactly they want. Which areas are they not comfortable with? Then they can present that to the finance committee so that the bill can be relooked at. And I want to say it's a good thing to protest because through protest, people are able to air their grievances. But everything should also have a direction. So if they are not having an alternative to what we have, then they are not doing any good to the country. They are supposed to come up with a better or a superior idea from what we have. If the finance bill is not good, then let us see what they have on the table for us. And this is, as I think you also made a very important comment yesterday, that the opposition is supposed to have an alternative finance bill, which we can say this one is better than what we have. Because Mzalendo, I said yesterday, yes, when the finance bill was written, Kenyans complained. They mentioned the areas that they were not comfortable with. And it was revisited, and it was revised, it was edited, it was amended, and many of those things that most people were complaining about were removed from the final draft. If the Gen Z still feel there are some other areas that they need to be rectified, they need to put it down in a professional manner so that those areas can be relooked or can be revised. But saying that they want the overhaul of the whole document, that is just making things hard. That is just being illogical. That is just deciding not to help the country. And if they continue like that, their demonstrations, their demonstrations will be just something that will not bear any fruit. They should be result oriented. Where exactly are we going? What is the roadmap? What do we want to achieve? So they need to come up with a very good plan, strategy of exactly what they want and how to achieve it. That is how I see it. However, I want to caution them. I want to tell them this. It is your freedom. It is within the Constitution for you to demonstrate. It is within the Constitution for you to picket. It is within the Constitution for them to go out there and air their grievances. But they should also know that their freedom should not infringe on the freedoms of other people. They should make sure there will be no destruction of other people's properties. They should make sure that they understand the limits. They are what we call the security areas. They should make sure they keep off the police stations, keep off the parliament, keep off the state house. Those are areas that they are called the security areas. You don't tamper with those government facilities, because when you try to tamper with those areas, you are risking your life. Somebody yesterday was talking of demonstrations in America that people are not shot. I don't know what. I can tell you for sure, during the Trump demonstrations, people were shot dead in America. Why? Because they went to Congress. Some people were trying to enter in the Congress and they died. I heard some people saying they will go to State House. Don't do that. Whoever is advising the young people that they are very strong, they are very powerful, they can do whatever they want to do, it is just misleading them to risk their lives. And we still need these young people. So please avoid the areas that can cause the police to use force. One of those areas are the State House, are the Parliament, both the Senate and the Parliament. Don't try to force yourself unless you have been given permission to go there. Don't go there in the name of protest. And especially you can do it outside, but don't try to enter in those facilities. Don't try to enter in the police stations by force. Don't try to go to the barracks, because you're gonna lose your life and nothing will be done about it. So last time during the Raila Odinga protest after the general elections, I warned the young people and I told them that today, a day like this, I told them today, some of you are listening to us, but tomorrow, if you're not careful, some of you will be dead. And that's exactly what happened. So I always want to tell people that life has no spare part. As much as you're going for those demonstrations, also limit yourself. Limit yourself. Don't go overboard, because we don't want to lose our young people in the name of demonstrations. You will die, and the country called Kenya will continue to exist. So that's what I can say for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mburu. You know, I'm trying to look at like other demonstrations that have rocked the world. I was reading an article about the Arab Spring. This demonstration started in in Tunisia. That was the epicenter. That was the epicenter of the Arab Spring. And can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
That was the epicenter of the Arab Spring. And let me tell you, it slowly became something very, very big, very, very big. And the issues around the Arab Spring were corruption related, governance, and things like that. I am seeing a situation where this movement is going to spread so fast, because right now it has already captured the entire country in most areas, but the epicenter is in the city, in Nairobi. That is where everything is. But most, even in the villages, you've seen videos of people saying, they are young girls in Turkana saying they are part of this movement. Let me welcome Leo to tell us what he's seeing outside there and what he thinks about this movement. Leo. Mr. Leo Nyabaya.
Yes, thank you, Mzalendo. Of course, greetings to Mburu. I heard that he wants to become a prophet. I don't know why he wants to become a prophet. I don't know if prophets must have some long beards. I can see Captain and everybody. So what I can say on this protest, I just have to join several Kenyans beyond the political divide to feel proud of the youths, or maybe feel proud of the younger generation who've decided to rise beyond their tribes, beyond the economic status, and beyond their political background to express their feelings towards how the country is being governed. So we'll have to note that it is for the first time that we are seeing both the children of the rich and the children of the poor assembling in the name of demonstration. Initially, most political demonstrations are always characterized by people from the slums like Kibra, Madare, and such kind of things. But for the first time, we are seeing people who are coming from these lavish estates. We are seeing people with smartphones or with iPhones. We are seeing people who use Uber or even have drive their parents' cars to this kind of demonstrations. So it tells you that the younger generation are really they are tired of what is happening. They've been watching, hoping that maybe their parents or their elders will do something, but they are not seeing this one coming. So they've just decided not to hijack, but to take their position and let their will be known. So today is projected to be one of the mother of all demonstrations across the country. And if you look, maybe you'll find that there are some places that already people did not sleep. They are just waiting for the day. People who are perceived to be maybe organizing these demonstrations, because I call it faceless, because we don't have faces behind it. So they'll look at people they feel like are organizing it through social media and such kind of things. They get intimidated, they get abducted, and such kind of things. Like right now, I'm getting some information that one of the social media commentators, Gabriel Oguda, is having some cops around his gate, around his home. So that is what has been happening to intimidate the youth. And we've also heard of a group that I heard you talking of, I don't know, Kamkunji, whatever, I think this is the same script that has always been used, but this generation, they are wise. They are wise enough to know those people who are for them and the ones who are against them. And what they're going to do will surprise most of us. You'll find that those people who are coming maybe to bring chaos, they might unite and also maybe to do the same thing and sing songs of rejecting the bill. I saw the son of a former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko also participated in demonstrations in Kwale. So it tells you that this is the right demonstration, and nobody I should even have the guts to oppose it, because it is not done in any bad, maybe bad faith or somebody with some evil plans, but it is Kenyans who are showing, or maybe who are showing the government that they are really tired of what is happening. And the earlier the government respond and manages this, the better, because historically most revolutions start as like this, and it's youths who normally drive this kind of revolution. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Leo. Captain, I've seen you joined us finally. Captain, tomorrow is the big day. Today, rather, is a big day in Kenya, where these youths are going to march to Parliament. What do you think of this day? You, as a parent, having to have witnessed this particular movement.
How are you, Mzalendo?
I'm doing fine.
What of Nyabaya?
Nyabaya can answer for himself.
I think he's not fine. The way he's biting the lips, he's not good. I see Mburu is smiling. Of course, he's fine. I cannot ask him.
Mm-hmm.
Mzalendo, for me, I'm praying tomorrow to be a very good, successful day for the Gen Zs. I'm for them myself. But those Azimio guys who they think that it is now their time to swear in Baba, I'm telling them they are in for a root shock. These guys, they are not supporting any political party. They are not supporting any political side. They are by themselves. These are the people. They are not. They have everything. They have documents. They have phones. They have knowledge. They are well informed of what they are doing. So Azimio coming in with their crocodile tears, that they are you look what the youths are doing. Who is this?
Yeah.
Brando, mute your mic. Yeah, the Azimio team, where they think that it is now a walk in the park for them, because the way youths are protesting, they think they are protesting supporting them. Let Azimio to fight their own war. We are for Gen Zs ourselves, because it is a countrywide thing, not just a one-party thing. You see? So me, I really praise us Gen Zs to continue like that. We need a better country. Even though for the president, yes, also, but the president is messing us a bit. Taxing us, and we are not seeing what our taxes is doing for us, is some of the things that we are against. We don't want such things. We need, when we are taxed, we see taxes working for us. When we take our children to school, like now they are going to streets, we take them to school, we give them help loan. They studied, you expect the same person to pay your help loan without a job. How? So the government should listen to these people, even though they are saying they are not after negotiation with anyone, but they need the finance bill to be dropped, which is okay. I also agree to be dropped, and they go back to drawing board, and they have to call these Gen Zs to discuss with them what they really want. And we need our money back. Our money that has been stolen by politicians, we need our money back to Treasury, and they budget the money the way it's supposed to be. Our budget should not be that huge. but they are putting it a very huge budget because they are giving themselves a room for taking the taxpayers' money. We have some idiot governors like my governor in Uasin Gishu saying that he will not allow any demonstrations. I'm telling governor that no one is coming to your door to ask you permission for demonstration. You will see demonstration by yourself. No one is asking you. The better thing, hold your horses na ungoje upangwe. Ile wakati mwingine mlikuwa mnatuambia tupangwingwi, lakini sasa tunawapanga. Vijana watawapanga vizuri sana. Kama president mwenyewe ana agree kuongea na wao, wewe kama governor unakuja kutisha watu kama nani? You cannot agree on that. Demonstration has to go on tomorrow as planned. And by this time, I expect even the Gen Zs to be in town right now as we talk. Doing their 1, 2, 3, waiting to occupy parliament. Yeah. Mzalendo, you can continue from there.
Thank you very much. Goodyear is saying, I fear the process could be be orderly, but the few bad apples could hijack the protest by being violent in the streets. I've already foreseen that. I want to play for you a clip of what is happening right now. What happened earlier in the day, and this is my greatest fear. The political class are trying to really hijack and make a meal out of this movement, and that is the end of the movement.
And you see, Mzalendo, if it will happen that Azimio will try to join.
They mobilize their resources online. They know how they organize themselves. And they have said and vowed forward that they don't want to associate themselves with any politician to take credit on what they have been doing by themselves. And I want to say and I want to support the cause of these youth fully. We are only waiting for the Gen Zs from Kibera to take over as from Tuesday. And I want to assure you that from Tuesday, you will see a showdown in every part of this country.
Sugoi kama Ruto the Sugoi. Jopinyati maandamano nyakibuta la Ruto. Nyaururu kamanya like dipya nyakamanya Ruto the elemo kawuono. Jopinyata nyakikanisa Ruto tumbo chakuwebo ngad. Buka chagwe mukwejo Ruto Kikuyu.
Ningependa kuambia Ruto kwamba huenda ndio ngoma inaanza. Na hii mambo sio rahisi bila anaweza kuwa anafikiria. Nilikuwa natazama akiwa pale Nyaururu. Nimeona for the first time rais anamuka kuzungumuza, ikakuwa ngumu, akaketi chini. Ikabidi naibu wake aanze kuongea Kikuyu kwa kubembeleza wananchi waanze kumpatia rais nafasi ya kuzungumuza. Hiyo inatuambia kwamba hii ni garamoshi ambayo imetoka na kusimama kwake huenda kakuwa ngumu zaidi.
Mbunge unyogo no. Langata benyo uyoka pressure ngenyo tumeonadi. Ochanda mnyogo yesu lo mnyomeno. Nyocha chienga ni manyi solo wadu gomondi, eri komondi. Abamu na mama nyogo la 1000 kawe ni the package, opinyogo le koko balo. Dika pesa ne makwongo yakigo ne uwi. Sani wabunge pondo. Makata wagi mokonyo wan mbunge wadi manyo, enyo sego no, erense. Hey, to ne beno mungu beno go no, yes dong dinyo wamanye. To nikecho ngeo gi majako notimo. Di party wa police mag party, di direction ma chama. Nyo go no. Koro one safe. Jalano bekanyo ngeno nyadi manyeloka, wajanja dalo wagini pe.
Ilikuwa ni mtihani kwa wabunge wengi. Kuna wale walizima simu, kuna wale walipotea. Lakini mbunge wetu wa Kibra Mheshimiwa Peter Orega alienda pale kwa bunge na akavote no.
Actually they cannot allow a tax regime to continue in our sovereign country today. We remind William Samoei Ruto that you sworn and carried the Bible that will protect the interests of the people before the Son and God. But today, you have forgotten Mama Mboga in Kilimanjaro. You have forgotten a boda rider in Kisumu. You have forgotten a fish monger in Kibera. You have forgotten a Mjengo guy in industrial area. You think that power will take you to Sugoi and will be in ever and forever power.
Kiki watching your audio me what direction. Siasa mitoyo ne kiki watching babo me what direction. Siasa mitoyo ne any feel. Numaisha di marach bil cha kuber tiwo kengi magaka gimro timi to okukonyi ni ojawaila la yo seti yo no mangeny ngado nyo hinyore to la da konyo bano kibanyiso nyu nana kwa pogo ruto ni kwa mina darling meo sana roko manakanda ling barati winyo ni kwa kuere maratari twado wabunge kucho nyowuoyo koro kokinge kakiwuoyo gi nyakwari kawuono mwawuoyeni week makoro rumone week machako makiny Monday mago winje makuyo piny ywak nikeche
There is a part of I want you to listen to. There is a part I want you to listen. Forget about this one talking Zoluo.
Kawuono bedo gi kuyo kabisa ka nyaka pas mag mine nyaka sukari sabun mkate jodalawa kumwadhi e koro onge amor gi kijende matindo makoro wuok oko okaw tich mar mandamano lwetgi support tiu tinyo kabisa wan be kuma winjore wabro timo agoero kamano ahinya mokwongo ne piwa Pituri an kana neno korerogo no mora kabisa kaka janyatike nikech ma e bedroom mar Raila Amolo Odinga kino na gone ero kamano kabisa. We've seen what William Samoei Ruto and his dogs are doing. He has claimed in very many instances that Gen Z do not understand what is in the finance bill. But I want to tell him from Kamkunji today that we understand so well what is in that finance bill. And we do not call for any amendments. We want the whole finance bill to be rejected in its entirety. That bill must be condemned. That bill is very dangerous and we do not need it anywhere. For the members of parliament who voted yes, we are telling you that the people are very mad and we are not going to entertain you anywhere. If you people live in the same country like us, we are going to make life very difficult for you people. In the finance bill, Mr. President, we saw you. There is a allocation for State House renovation that is worth 800 million. We want to tell you that Kenya has got the best State House than other countries around. And we do not need any renovation in that State House. And we will not accept any tax towards that. You've also allocated money for your wives. We've seen you people allocating money for Dorcas and another one for your wife. We want to tell you this. We are paying for everything for your entire family. Hao watu wanaishi State House, wanakula State House, wanafanya kila kitu State House kutumia tax zetu. And we are not going to allocate any more funds for them. Kwa hivyo tunakuambia on Tuesday, we have a very tight schedule. Na tumepewa program ya siku 7. Leo ilikuwa ni operation Occupy those churches. Na mbunge yeyote aliyepiga yes atakikani kuongea kwa kanisa yoyote. And we are going to do it. So this is a real movement. It is a movement for the people and it is not sponsored by anybody. Kamane babro time. Korsa moro in mohori no. Dokre pod no bro lemo wango mora mora.
Can you unmute your mic, Mzalendo? Unmute your mic.
I am saying those are Leo's people. What they are saying is that they want to be part of the process, and tomorrow they are joining. They are taking over from Gen Z or joining Gen Z. One of them said they are taking over on tomorrow's protest. And that is the biggest problem. That is now the biggest problem. And you see, it is now generating into political war between those are definitely Azimio supporters or ODM supporters, because each and every person they're talking about is an ODM supporter. Now, this is a problem. This is the biggest problem. Let me start by Mburu, who's not been here. What do you make of this, Mr. Mburu?
Thank you, Mzalendo. One, I want to say it's unfortunate that something that is supposed to bear fruits is likely to head to nowhere, especially if we allow political interference. Because the reason why demonstrations in Kenya, most of the time, they don't achieve anything because it becomes political contest. Demonstrations that we have been having before, we have been having political demonstrations. And that is why the government has been dispersing those people, because it's like it has been a competition trying to show the government that the opposition is very strong and the opposition can use protest to achieve their goals. But this movement of Gen Z has been very unique because it had not taken political angle. And I want to advise the organizers, please don't be tempted to allow political sides to shape the fate of your protests, because you end up nowhere. You end up having violent protests that you lead to loss of lives. And that is my worry, that if they allow this movement to take political angle, the government will also take its stand. The reason why even the president and other politicians were accepting even to join Twitter, to go and listen to these people, to the young people, is because they had said they are not taking political sides. As much as it is very important for the government to listen to them, and for me, I'm saying they have a point, and they deserve to be listened to. But at the same time, they have also to listen to others. What is it that they need to tell us? What is it that they want? They haven't said. Number two, the government is asking them, okay, can you also listen to us? We explain our side. Why do we have this finance bill the way it is? They are supposed to have a conversation between them and the government, because we already have a government in place. If they get tempted to say like others who have been saying, oh, we don't have a government, oh, we can't listen to nobody, at the end of the day, their protest will add to nothing, because, and I wish the government does not interfere with them. They can't protest forever. They'll be tired. But before they get tired of protest, let them come up with tangible solutions. For me, I support them 100%, because to a greater extent, they have handled themselves with a lot of decorum. No throwing of stones, no breaking of shops, no burning of tires on the roads. And that is why I'm saying we are supporting them But at the same time, we want to see them act in a logical way, come up with the proposal and hand that proposal to the government, because Kenya has a government and nobody else can implement your proposals apart from the government that is in place. So we don't want those protests to take political angle. We want to see them continuing with their protest, but at the same time, we want to see what do they have to offer to the nation of Kenya. Let them organize the issues that they have, put them in a formal way, and forward them to the committee, so that if the committee refuses or the government refuses to hear or to listen to their demands or to change the areas they want to be changed, then their protest can have more power, can have more support. But right now, they are saying they don't want to listen to anybody. They don't want to be told anything. They don't want to say what they want. Or what they are saying is we have to scrap the finance bill. Then after that, then what? After we have done that, then what? That's my big question. Thank you, Mzalendo.
Leo, thank you for that take, Mr. Mburu. Can I have Captain, then Leo?
Mzalendo, I'm so scared, and I'm losing hope now, because if these agencies are now to be overtaken by goons, who have been in demonstrations since 1997 until now, then I don't see where we are going. There is nowhere these agencies now will go, because the people who are speaking there, we know them. We even know their handwriting, how they write. So if now agencies will allow these people to come in and join them, then even the government, they are used to them. They know hii ni biashara ya kawaida, watachoka tu. But agencies, because it's supposed to be countrywide thing, this Kamugunji one is no, I think it is only in Kibera. I don't think it will have any other place where it speaks for itself that it is sponsored by the political party, maybe. But for me, what I was trying and I was suggesting, this Kamugunji thing, they could have left Genzis to do and pursue what they want from the government. Joining them will have added, I don't know, sugar or salt to the food in State House, and they will ignore them and continue passing their bills the way they want. So Genzis, they should desist. These Kamugunji people, and if there is any political party they want to join Genzis, I think they'll have to come in a different formula, because those people, they are not supporting any political party. They are not affiliated to any political side. They are just by themselves. I believe even some of them, most of them, they have not even voted before. They are from school. They see life, it is very hard the way it is. And they are learned people. That's why they feel the pinch of being taxed, while the previous tax is very heavy for them. It's very, very heavy for us. And now they are bringing in a new one, which is more expensive than the previous one. What do the government expect? I remember what happened in Sudan before. There is a lady who was leading the demonstrations, and until they remove the government in power. For this one, Genzis, they love to stand firm. They do away with political affiliations and go for what they need. They should go for what they need for the betterment of our Kenya. Thank you, Mzalendo.
Leo, you saw your people talking there. What do you make of it? Mr. Leo.
Okay. I think, okay, having watched that video, that is obvious. There are things that happen, and maybe there are people who fear, maybe they don't have the courage to start these kind of things, but when somebody have started, then I don't know if I can say they do hijack or they want to be associated with it. For example, after the 2022 general elections, the Azimio did not start the demonstrations or the protest, but this thing was started by Bunge la Wananchi. After that, no, Raila and his team, they were so reluctant and they didn't do anything. But when they realized that the Bunge la Wananchi have started this thing and it was resonating with most of Kenyans, then they joined it and owned it. So I think that is what is also likely to happen in this case. It's either the president of the executive is going to get some few youths, buy them out, or maybe threaten them, such kind of things, or these political organizations or the politicians are going to get involved in it. And once the politicians have gotten involved in it, then the police will now have an excuse, maybe to use excessive force and to declare it politically instigated and such kind of things. But if the politicians and the political organization doesn't get involved in this kind of thing, then it's something that is going to be so serious that it's going to make sense. But the moment they'll allow politicians to get in it, then that one will be the end of this movement, or the end of this kind of protest. And if you look keenly at the direction that is taking currently, you can tell that there are politicians who want to get associated with it. So some of them maybe want to take credit, and some of them just want to get associated with it so that they can get ways of giving it a bad name. That is my thought of that.
Thank you very much, Leo. When I saw this clip made me sad. It made me
batao tenda mujitadhi jamoka dego biashara katana bingo. Aya, number 1 nikech nitie wabunge manyodo bedo kodwa ni admin kwara mogi. When an intelligent man is of all youths. When an intelligent man is talking, boy. Ogutu njo. Vile natambua uwepo kama alishinda. Kwa hivyo katika ile maandamano na ukabila tuwezekano sana tribal demonstration. Kwa hivyo kuna uwezekano haitakuwa maandamano ya kawaida.
I want you to watch
Gen Z demonstration was not about tribe. It was an tribal demonstration. Manegi mawadwa wacho mokuongo. Sisi kama Gen Z tulitoka nje na hatukutoka na ukabila. Tulikuwa na Wakikuyu, tulikuwa na Wanandi. Sisi yetu haina ukabila. Hii ni ya vijana. Wazee wakae kando. Tunaleta revolution kwa hii nchi. We are serious about this nation. We are here to challenge the system. Sisi kama vijana. Na tumejitokeza kupambana na Bwana Ruto. Vijana wamejitokeza kupambana na Bwana Ruto. Sisi kama Gen Z. Juu, wazee, you have been hypocrites for so long. You have been hypocrites for so long. This is a generation that we do not care about you. We do not care how you feel, but we'll just tell you the truth of the matter. In France, Benotimo revolution. And they were fighting for 3 things. Thing 1, equality. Thing 2, liberté. Thing 3, fidelité. Togigi kaka negigore, negiyudo gigi. Koro pin Kenya pod nigigeno. Miwauru mana time. And Tuesday we are going to prove you wrong. Tuesday we are going there. We will be out. We will be out in numerous of our numbers. We are going to prove Bwana Ruto wrong. We are also saying like this, like Gen Zs. Wangni timo badinga tonge. We will elect you on merit. We will elect you on what you have done. We will elect you. Kalure gigi kumitiwe pilka. Bana linguru kanyo bana. An intelligent man is talking bana.
intelligent man is talking. Keep quiet. Now that guy made a lot of sense. He made a lot of sense in his conversation, although he went to the Luo dialect at some point, but still stuck to the mission of Gen Z. He said it very, very clearly. The old generation, generation yangu, keep off history of Gen Z. We will talk about it here on social media, try to tie the loose knots, look at areas where we can support. Kama ni maji tunawapatia, tunawaendelea na hiyo mikakati yao. We failed this generation. I don't know how many times the political class will get it. They didn't get it right. They've not been getting it right since 1960. We have never got it right in our politics. We have never got it right in our politics. Yeah, we have been elected. That young man said, they are leaders who are imposed on the people. Imposed on the people, not the people's choice. Not the people's choice. And these are the leaders that the Gen Z are coming for. He's saying in 2027, you'll be elected on merit. They're talking about corruption in government. They are talking about bad leadership. They are talking about overtaxation in Ruto's government. So please, political parties, kina ODM, that was your strong zone. Base, kaeni kando, wacheni ni hao vijana wajaribu, because we saw the other demonstrations the other day. I'll be playing for you a clip of the other demonstrations, how they've been happening, compared to what Gen Zs are offering right now. They had the same technology, they had everything, but they were so disorganized. My fear, my greatest fear, ladies and gentlemen, is that what will happen tomorrow if these people from the slums, people from Kibra, join the demonstration, people from Mathare and all that, join the demonstration, plus those thugs who are going to hijack the situation. Unasikia kuna 42 brothers ya Dandora, sijui kina nani ya kina nani. Kesho na turudi hapa jioni ama mchana tukuambie kesho ile wizi na uporaji itafanyika Nairobi. Itakuwa ni hali ya juu kabisa. Hali ya juu kabisa, and people should be worried about what will happen, because thugs already are now strategizing. They saw the first demonstration. I hope Gen Z movement already sense the need. But if they are bright, because those kids are very, very bright, if they are bright, they would know that tomorrow is not a good day, and plan this demonstration on a day that none of this political class will know about that particular. They use probably coded messages to get their message home. Otherwise, kesho sio kuzuri sana. Vile mimi naona
they don't have any other better day than tomorrow, because you know what is happening in parliament tomorrow. And if they will allow what will happen tomorrow to happen, this thing will never be dropped anymore. The scenario here is this bill not to be passed. This bill just to be dropped completely as it is. Not amendments, not whatever. They just need this thing to be just gone. We forget it, and we continue maybe with the 2023-2024 financial bill. Even though also it is not a good one, but the better, because how we are taxed on this other one is not adding up at all.
Captain, suppose Gen Z come up with a bill tomorrow, because they have read the bill so well, they know the areas that need some rectification. Suppose wakuje na bill kesho, waseme hii ndio bill tunataka ikuwe implemented na hii serikali.
Mzalendo, you know, sometimes be someone who is flashing back things. They have said everything completely they don't want. And they cannot come even with a bill. Listen, they cannot come even with a bill. But they need to go back to drawing board, including the government and all some of the GNCs that they'll select or whatever. They sit down and they start now from zero. You see, but telling us that we are amending this one, we are taxing vehicles, tumeitoa hii ya kutax mkate tumeitoa, lakini pale ndani kuna vitu zingine, kuna koma, kuna full stop, na nilisikia hizo zote iko na definition zake. So that is why these people, they don't want this thing completely. There is no way you can tell us that alternatively they might come up with another bill to give the government. They cannot. There is no any other alternative bill.
No, hypothetically, that is what I was thinking, that maybe if it is the issue of finance bill, then they should come up with a bill and say, this is what we want, this is what we don't want in this bill, remove it, and everything else is okay.
You know, Mzalendo, the problem with Kenya is that when financial here comes, the month for reading the budget for the whole financial year, it is just coming like an abrupt thing. It is not, they don't print the finance bill, they supply to the citizens of Kenya to read for themselves, and they come up with a way, or now they have to correct the bill the way they want. You see, they just come up with it. They want to force you that it is the correct bill, that is what we want, accept and move on. But the people now, Gen Zs, they are well informed that this government is for thugs. Just as the other thugs, they are arranging themselves using the name Kamukunji something. Those are thugs. They are coming to steal phones from these Gen Zs. Because they have seen these people, they have smartphones, iPhone 16, number 17 Pro Max. They are coming to steal from them. Those people, they are not coming for demonstrations against the bill. They are coming to make themselves rich. At the end of the day, maybe in the evening, they'll be selling phones in the streets of Tuli Avenue at a throwaway price, you see. Otherwise, Gen Zs, they have to go back, because I'm seeing everything has been overtaken and there is no way that it will work. There is no way that it will work like the previous one, perfectly as the way they want, but thugs have now come in.
Mburu.
Zarendo.
Yeah, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much. I just want to echo the words of Mr. Captain, that yes, these people who are saying they are going to join the GNC, and there are people who have always been having these demonstrations before, and their demonstrations has never been peaceful. They should keep off. They should keep off. All thing to take political angle. And there is also a very high possibility that when they join, they will start what they are used to. That is looting people's properties. That is destroying people's properties. That is throwing stones to the police. Then the whole thing will become chaotic. And that is my fear. That is why we are saying, let the old guards stay aside. Let these young people continue with what they are doing. Let them also exercise their democratic right to protest. And at the same time, Zarendo, I normally say that life is very precious. Life is precious. Those police officers who shot the young people, who were not a threat to anybody, they ought to be investigated and be arrested and prosecuted, because life is very precious. We don't have spare part. Once you shoot somebody's child, that child will never come back to the world again. And that is what I tell people. Protect your life, because once you lose it, you never get it again. It is gone. It is gone. You are gone. You are gone. You are not like going for 10 years and coming back. It is until eternity. So that's why I normally tell people, myself, I know it is good for people to talk. It's also good for people to protest. But if I perceive that my life will be at risk, I can't do such things. If I perceive that I am going to die, oh my God, leaving other people enjoying and continuing with their lives as if nothing happened, I can't die for anybody. Jesus Christ died for us all. I am not dying for anybody. All those people who have died, they have left Kenya intact. All those young people who have died fighting for some leaders, they have left those leaders enjoying and making coalitions amongst themselves. So I want to tell our young generation, we have been here in this world for quite some time. We have seen serious protest. For instance, I was still there during the time of Jido Matiba, during the time of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. We have seen serious protests, the Saba protests, and they have come and they have passed. And those who lost their lives, they are gone and they are gone forever. They have not come back to see what Kenya has become. So the first thing I tell people, nobody is going to protect your life. Protect your life, you personally. Don't risk your life doing crazy things, fighting with police, because they are protected by the law. That if they perceive their life is under threat, they are allowed to use firearm. So, and that is why they have guns.
They are licensed to kill.
Oh, let me tell you, if you threaten the life of a police officer, that is why he has been equipped with a gun. Captain, if you don't know.
Tell them, no, Jeff Mburu, it's like you don't understand me. I'm telling you, tell them they are licensed to kill.
Exactly. And you won't take them anywhere. You see? So that's what I'm telling the young people. Have limits, have some decorum. We don't want to lose anybody. When you die, you leave your mother with pain. You leave your father with pain. You leave your family, if you're married, with pain. And sometimes we die for things that are not, tangible. For instance, Mr. Mzalendo, you are a good researcher. Even you yourself, I have listened to you yesterday and today. You haven't told us exactly what does the Gen Z exactly, what do they exactly want? Have they been in a position to stipulate clearly what they want? They are, whatever they are agitating for is full of ambiguity. They haven't been able to bring it out so that the world and the people of Kenya may know exactly what is this and what do they want. That is the only problem I have with them. Protest is okay. I support it 100%. But after protesting, can you make sure you have made the president and the government to understand exactly what is it that you are not happy with? Thank you.
You know, Jeff Mburu, there is one thing that maybe you don't understand. Gen Z's people, or these young guys, these people wamesoma, wameenda shule, wako na degrees, most of them. They have masters, they have certificates, all whatever. Hawana kazi, lakini ile help loan pia ile walilipia hiyo fees kwa university inafaa walipe according to the tax vile inaendelea kwa sasa hivi. Hawana shida na serikali ya William Ruto uappoint, hata ukitaka kuappoint Mzalendo akuwe prime minister, they don't care about that. But the tax, you are taxing everything, na hawana kazi yote. Naona, you are budgeting even the office of this wife of this David president and the first lady's office. Are they there in the constitution? But umeweka pesa pale kwa hii finance bill. ya nini? Hiyo ndio vitu zingine nani Jeff Mburu, you have to sometimes also be fair enough and listen to these kids. They have a message, not that they are just going streets because they are wasting time or they don't have something to do.
Asante sana, Captain. Thank you for correcting Geoffrey Mburu. He's saying that these kids, they don't have a message. They have a clear message, and the Captain has told you.
Who said that? Now you are congratulating him for what? Who said that?
No, you are the one who is saying they don't
You just said that they don't have a clear message.
You see, you people, you should be good listeners and listen to understand, not to listen to argue. I said they have not stipulated clearly. They might have a point, but how have they delivered?
What do you want when they say they want the finance bill dropped entirely? What do you understand by that?
That amount to zero work, because when you say the finance, that is illogical. That is illogical. That is not doable.
Why are you saying it is illogical?
It is illogical.
It makes sense.
Mzalendo, if you come up with a proposal that you want the finance bill to be dropped, what are you telling us? What are you telling us? What are you telling us now? That is to me
exactly that finance bill to be dropped.
That is stupidity. To me, that is stupidity of the highest order.
Since it has never happened, it will be
the reason why I'm saying that. The reason why I'm saying that is this. One is that we have these bodies, electoral bodies, that we have given to ourselves. Parliament is constitutionally elected to be there, protected to be there. The people that we vilify so much, the members of parliament, we vote for them. They are there protected by the constitution. So those committees which are under the arms of government, they are just doing their jobs. If you are not happy with what they are doing, what you are supposed to do is to air out what exactly do you want. But you cannot tell people we scrap the finance bill. So what? After that, are we not going to write and put the same things again? I mean, they are not telling us anything.
Listen, Mburu, there's no constitutional crisis if you drop the entire bill, finance bill. You can continue with the one that was for 2022, 2023. There is no crime in doing that.
2024.
Yeah, there is no crime in doing that. Yes.
Mzalendo, that is people overstepping. That is now pretending that, oh, we are so powerful, whatever we want must be done. Things are not done like that. Things are not done through just something.
These people are very powerful. These people are very powerful.
They are not.
Not watched.
Let me tell you, everything has limit. You have the extent to which you can go. You cannot dictate to the government that now, oh, you must do what we want. Drop it down. Now, what they're supposed to do,
a quick question.
Let me finish my statement.
Yes.
Let me finish my statement. Can they point out all the areas they are dissatisfied with? Put them down, write them. Then people can say, okay, it is because of A, B, C, D. But when you say the entire document, then that is what I can say is just an exercise in futility. They're not going anywhere. And that is exactly what a logical, a critical thinker should tell them. This is doable, this is not doable. Period.
Let me invite a Gen Z. Let me invite a Gen Z. That is a comment from a Gen Z, 22 Jalala. Please come and we hear your voice. I know you are commenting there, but please just voice on this particular one, because you've heard what Mburu is saying. You being a Gen Z, please come and tell Mburu who you are and why you want this thing dropped entirely.
Jeff, let me tell you this. This is not one particular person by the name Raila Odinga you are used to since 1997 when he's doing demonstrations. These are a different group of people, young youth, who can overturn everything. They have nothing to lose. They don't have any business. They don't have any house. They don't have any car on the road. They can destroy anything they want. You're just talking here, Jeff.
You know, for me, I say it's unfortunate when people think they are.
Even your network is telling you that you are telling us wrong.
Even his network.
We have seen it now when he is old. We have seen it all. So there is nothing that excites me so much. That now they have come from heaven yesterday. These are people who even have never been voting in the Republic of Kenya.
Yes, they have never voted before, as I've said.
Yeah, they're going to vote for the
now
first
they're
time.
just waking up. They have just woken up. We are still waiting for them now to see what they stand for and for them to gain direction. So don't think that I'm the kind of a person who be so much. Oh, there is a group of people that has risen up now. They have come up with new ideas. From where? Those are things we have.
Let me ask you.
We have seen it all.
They cannot make any difference.
They can do what?
Do you think they can?
Let them start by participating in politics.
Okay, there's a Gen Z. Wacha tusikie Gen Z akiongea. Melvin, please come and
in voting, in campaigns, everything. So as much as
before that, I just want to add on something.
Jeff Mburu, relax.
That Mburu is not getting and awesome. You know, the Gen Z are telling the executive through the National Assembly that they need to reject the finance bill because, okay, there's no way you are going to amend or you are going to introduce something that you know is so hurtful, then you remove it and expect to be clapped for. So it is not the role of Gen Z to come up with another finance bill. That is the role of the parliament. And the only time they engage with this bill is during public participation, which was not done. Nobody had public participation with them. And you did hear the president, not through Oscar Sudi, saying that moving forward, in the next bill, we are going to have a public participation with you. So it shows you some level of incompetence, knowing very well that we are supposed to have a public participation.
Now,
we've not done it. So you allow us to sin. You allow us to sin that next time we are not going to sin. And then
can you
lastly,
rectify? Can you rectify your statement?
We have the finance bill passed or not passed. It is not going to interfere with the budget because after all, this is a bill that is gotten from the previous.
Relax, Mr. Mburu.
Mburu, just a minute. They're just making amendments or changes in the current financial bill 2023. So we don't have maybe a loophole whereby you have to tell us that, you know, we are rushing against time. If we don't pass these kind of roads and what are not going to happen. No, that is a lie that Kenyans need to be told. And maybe dismissing the Gen Z that is wrong. This is the largest population that we have. So when you're making a decision, you cannot ignore the majority. Just as people from Mount Kenya keep on saying that, no, when people are discussing political matters, they should be on the table. It's just the same way you're telling Gen Z that, you know, we are ignoring you and such kind of things. It can't happen. They are the majority. In democracy, majority will always have their way as minority have their say. Then lastly, you've talked of the MPs. They are the ones who elected these MPs. But these MPs represent their interest. But once they realize that the MPs are not representing their interest, even constitutionally it is allowed that they need to recall them. And what they're doing, in other words, is a process of recalling their MPs, telling them that we sent you there. So if we people of Murang'a did not want this bill, we are here, majority of us, we don't want it. Why did you have to vote for it? Then who are you representing? So that's the process of recalling the members of parliament. I think that one makes it clear.
Mr. Leo, I just wanted to ask you to retract your statement. How does the president speak through Oscar Sudi? Is Oscar Sudi the spokesperson of the president?
No, there are some things some laws that are not written. There are some things that are normal. You just need to.
No, that is a biased way of debate.
Know that when
it shows you're already biased.
That is Raila speaking. When Sudi
Who
speaks,
said
that is William Ruto speaking. So when Mutai Kahiga speaks, that is Gachagua speaking. So some things are not written somewhere.
That is a bad way of perceiving people. Like Oscar Sudi has no brain of himself, that today somebody cannot have his own opinion because you are associated with so and so. I mean, that's unfortunate. That's how I see it. And this is my point. I haven't said the young people should not have a discussion. I haven't said nobody should listen to them. I am saying, yes, they have a point, but the way they are articulating their point need to be changed. Yes, you are protesting. What do you want to achieve at the end of the day? You want to see some changes. Are you in a position to stipulate that this is what we want to see changed in our country? Have you said this and that and that? Who said that they should come up with another finance bill? I never said that. I said, can they point out the areas that they are dissatisfied with? All of them stipulated very well, put in a formal way, so that even in such a debate like this one, it is not guesswork. Like I see watu wanatapatapa hapa wakijaribu kusema this is what Jay-Z stands for. They are not coming out clearly. And that is what I'm saying.
They were denied an opportunity to do that. The only place they can do that is through public participation. But the Kimani Kuria committee did not give them an opportunity to come and say, we are not satisfied with this. And so they were ignored. So that part is there.
Did they request to be heard?
So how do you want them to do it right now? Yes, the part was ignored.
Did they request to be heard and they were told no? I don't think so.
Muru, let me, you guys, Leo, hold on your horses. Let me introduce Gen Z to answer some of those questions that you are asking and what they feel about the budget. Melvin, please introduce yourself, tell us where you are, and Karibu.
I'm Melvin. I'm in Virginia, and I'm working right now. But I just heard Jeff speaking over there, and I disagree with everything you're saying, because you're saying the Gen Zs don't know what they're talking about, but I feel like you don't know half of what you're saying. You don't know half of the things that you're saying. You're standing there saying, first of all, you said you cannot die for other people. First, that means you're a coward. There's nothing you can fight for. So there's nothing we can hear from someone like you. Because by saying what you said, it means you've never had to fight for anything in your life. So you know how painful it is. Do you have people living back at home? So you know how painful life is gonna be for them. Do you know that? Do you have any sympathy for them? Or are you looking at, oh, this is my government, oh, I'm gonna run with the government because the government say this is what we are gonna do? It's not like that. If something is wrong, you stand up and you say, hey, this is wrong and I'm not gonna accept it. You just don't move like a coward. Oh, I'm gonna accept it. Oh, they're gonna do something wrong to me. Like, what do you mean? You stand up and say, hey, you're not gonna do this to me. I'm not gonna accept it, you know? That's how you fight for generations. That's how you fight for your children. Not by saying, oh, I'm not gonna die for nobody. So would you never not die for your children?
Wow, Jeff, I'm sorry, you're a coward.
You see, so far, young Asa, you haven't said anything, because you haven't told us what we want to hear. What is it that you are agitating for? Because right now, what you have done is just responding to me, to my statement. What is it that you stand for? What is it that you are not happy with? That is what we want to hear. This ambiguity and confusion.
We are not happy with the finance bill. We have been protesting for over a week, and you don't know people are not happy with the finance bill? What else do you want to understand?
Even before your protest,
we are not happy with the whole finance bill.
Listen,
we are not happy with the whole finance bill, and we want it scrapped out. That's what we want. We want the finance bill scrapped away. What don't you understand with that? Have you not
what
watched?
I don't
have you not seen the
understand
posters?
is because in this finance bill, there are good things and there are also bad things. And as far as I'm concerned, when the first finance bill was brought out to the public, people complained, and the finance committee went back to the drawing board. And many of those things that people were complaining about, they were dropped down. And after that, you people now, you have proceeded with the protests. What you are supposed to say is, okay, you dropped down A, B, C, D, but still there are these and that that are remaining. Then when the other question which I have for you, after we scrap down the finance bill, so what? What next? What are the plans you are having? Are you offering solutions, or you are just becoming problematic?
Yes, we will go back to drawing board, and we restructure it again.
Because as the leaders, that is your job.
We'll have all the parties or all the bodies involved, not the politicians alone, especially the members of parliament. We need the ordinary mwananchi, ule mama mboga mlituambia, tunataka ule mtu wa pikipiki akuje, tunataka ule mbunge nimempigia kura akuje, tukae chini sisi wote pamoja na tuwaambie tunataka hivi, tunataka hivi, tunataka hivi. Tunaelewana, Jeff?
I think that is clear. I wanted to play a clip by Kindiki warning. I have not watched it, but let us see what the Minister for Internal Security said. Kindiki.
Present petitions to authorities. According to Article 24, 1D of the Constitution, this right, as all other rights, is limited by, among other things, the need to ensure that the enjoyment of this right does not prejudice the rights and freedoms of others. It follows, therefore, that those exercising the Article 37 rights to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to public authorities peaceably and unarmed must do so under the following constitutional and legal parameters. 1, they must remain peaceful and unarmed throughout the assembly, the demonstration, the picketing, and the presentation of any petitions to authorities. 2, they must engage in a manner that does not promote violence or riots, because the right in Article 37 is the right to demonstrate. It is not the right to riot. Number 3, they must not breach public order. Number 4, they must not intimidate, harass, or otherwise inconvenience members of the public who are not protesting. Number 4, they must inform the police of their intentions to exercise this right. They must also inform the police of the routes they will take for purposes of providing escorts and ensuring that there is law and order during this constitutional expression. They must also notify the police the timings of their activities. They must stop their activities at sunset or at 6:30 p.m., whichever is earlier, in accordance with the Public Order Act Cap 57 of the laws of Kenya. They must not provoke, attack, injure, or obstruct law enforcement officers or even members of the public. They must also follow the escorts and other guidelines of law enforcement officers to ensure they are protected from non-protesters, they are protected from infiltrators, and they are orderly as they exercise this very fundamental right provided for under the Constitution for every person. They must not obstruct traffic of any kind. Motor vehicle traffic, bicycle traffic, border traffic, etc., etc. They must not obstruct, block, vandalize, or otherwise destroy any private or public property. They must adhere to the laws of Kenya, including the Protected Areas Act that limits access to certain critical infrastructure for national security reasons. And the police will guide them in which areas they cannot access by operation of the law on the protection of critical infrastructure. They must not access critical assets for the supply of power, water, or other social amenities in a manner that is likely to interfere with the enjoyment of these amenities by members of the public. They must not interfere with any private activity by non-protesters, and they must not interfere with road, rail, sea, or air transport in any manner whatsoever. Whatever the issues, whatever the grievances, whatever the matter, the rule of law and public order must be maintained by all persons. For the avoidance of doubt, non-protesters and other members of the public who hold a contrary view to that of protesters are bound by the same limitations, and they must exercise their right to disagree, if at all, in the same manner, in the same circumstances. The national security organs of our country shall remain neutral, apolitical, but firm in enforcing the law of our country, and no form of lawlessness is going to be entertained whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, those who wish to exercise their constitutional right can do so today, tomorrow, every day, because it is their right to do so. But they must also adhere to the rule of law, and they need to make sure that other members of the public who either are not interested in what they are doing or they hold a contrary view are also not inconvenienced or harassed in any manner, including the transportation of the people. In the past, we have seen grave breaches to peace. We have seen people pretending to be protesters, damaging road infrastructure and other amenities built by the taxes and the sweat of the people of Kenya. I dare you to try that. We cannot be a country that condemns violence in the name of exercising human rights. Your right and my right end where the right of the next person starts. I repeat, your right and my right end at the point where the right of the next person starts. Nataka niseme ya kwamba katiba ya Kenya inakubalia mtu yoyote kufanya maandamano ya amani bila kujihami. Lakini katiba hiyo hiyo imesema kwamba wakati mtu yeyote anafurahia haki hii ya kibinadamu ambayo iko katika katiba, ni lazima aheshimu haki za wale watu wengine ambao labda hawahusiki na mambo ambayo anafanya. Kwa hivyo, katika wakati huu tumepata habari ya kwamba kuna wananchi ambao wangetaka kujieleza na kuandamana kwa sababu wanatofautiana na maamuzi fulani ambayo yamefanywa yakiwa maamuzi ya umma. Uhuru wao wa kujieleza uko katika katiba. Vyombo vya usalama vya taifa la Kenya vitawalinda ili wajieleze, waandamane na vile vile wafanye chochote ambacho wanaweza kufanya, ikiwemo kupeleka matakwa yao katika ofisi ama mahali ambazo wangetaka kusikizwa.
Mimi nataka nikubaliane na yale Askofu Mkuu Ole Sapit amesema, yale Askofu Samson amesema kuhusu vijana wetu wa Kenya. Hawa vijana ni watoto wetu, tumewazaa, na ni watoto wetu ambao tumewalea. Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa vijana wetu, mimi nawapongeza kwa kujitokeza na kushughulika na mambo ya taifa lenu la Kenya. Our young people have stepped forward to engage on the affairs of their country. They have done a democratic duty to stand and be recognized. And I want to tell you, we are going to have a conversation with you so that we can identify your issues and we can work together as a nation.
Mzalendo, unmute your mic.
Mzalendo, you are unmuted. We can't hear you.
Sorry for that. Sorry for that. I started with Kindiki's speech. Kindiki is saying what most of the security agencies have been saying in the past. There is nothing different from any. There's nothing new in what he is saying. But from what we saw in the previous demonstrations, there were no chaos. There was nothing. There was no looting. So I think he's only preparing the young people for chaos tomorrow. What do you guys think? Jalala, Melvin.
Let's go past Mzalendo.
Yeah, I am saying, you see, whatever speech that that Kindiki has said, the CS has said right now, warning the young people, and what we have seen from the youth, the pressure group. There's another group calling itself pressure group from Kibera, Kamkunji, yeah, saying that they will be part of the demonstrations tomorrow. There are also many other small units of groups who are not necessarily youth, who are saying they are joining. And by extension, I heard that lady called Brenda, Awesome, I think it is Awesome Ogudia, had said on the comment section that the young people have invited their parents or the older generation to join them in the protest. I don't know whether the old generations should be in this protest. What do you guys think?
I think if anyone wants to join the protest, please do, because at the end of the day, this is our country. It's not the Gen Z country. It's our country, and this bill is affecting everybody, not just the Gen Zs. We might be feeling like we are hurt the most because most of us are just starting life and everything, but at the end of the day, the bill is affecting everybody. So if you feel the need to be out there, and if you feel like you want to represent your country and your people, you might as well join. But we are not advocating for any kind of chaos, any sort of violence. If anything, from the previous week, we've noticed everyone was just peaceful, walking around with placards. No one was doing nothing stupid, apart from the police, I guess. So, if anything, these people are probably, the police are probably the ones to start a problem, because I've already started seeing some policemen wearing civilian clothes, some people being kidnapped and everything. And that's why I'm like, what kind of government is this? How are you kidnapping your own citizens? People who are advocating for change. Like, who is this guy running this country? He's moving like a terrorist himself. You understand? So I feel like the protests should be peaceful, as they have been, and if that's the case, everything will be fine. And I feel like the people will turn out in very huge numbers this week. That's what I think.
Wow, Melvin, before you go, can you apart from the finance bill, is there anything else you people are agitating for in Ruto's government, apart from the finance bill? Because we have heard shouts of Ruto must go and things like that.
The finance bill is what triggered everything, but what I can tell you as for now, if that finance bill is to go through, that would be the worst thing to ever happen. Because right now, people are already sharing and online signing petitions to recall the president himself. So people are trying by all means to recall all these leaders, because we are finally seeing that they are not good for us, and they are only for their own sake, benefiting themselves. So if anything, people just want to recall these leaders because they're not good.
Are you as a young person, are you scared to be arrested?
I'm not really scared to be arrested. Let me tell you, young people, as long as we are together, we are never scared. We are never scared. So being arrested is not an issue. I've had friends who have already been arrested the first day last week when this protest started. So no one is scared of being arrested. The only thing that can scare people is losing their life, So about being arrested, that's not a big deal. You can arrest people for all you care. There are lawyers every other day, you understand? So people will be all right, but losing lives and people being shot, and that's what we don't want.
Now, somebody, Awesome, is asking you a question. To Melvin, how will Gen Z have a conversation with the president if you call a president a terrorist? That's a good one.
We are not trying to have a conversation. We already said we are not trying to talk to nobody. We are not trying to hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? We already gave you the chance to do the job. It's like any other job. You're given the opportunity. You're given, hey, this the shot. Take your shot. You miss it, hey, you're out. Just like a girl. When you get a girl, hey, you either do your thing or you're out. She's going to disqualify you. So it's just that simple. If you cannot prove what you got, then you don't have the balls. Just go.
Thank you, Melvin. I've been talking to a Gen Z from Virginia, and that is how the Gen Zs feel. Sometimes you need to ask them the questions. Oh Lord. Then you guys have lost focus. Awesome is saying that you guys have lost focus on the comment section. I totally disagree with you. These guys are so focused. They need. The only thing that they need is that finance bill dropped. And Mburu, you've heard from the young man. Maybe if you have any question for him before he leaves, or Captain and everybody else, because this is the generation that is carrying the day tomorrow. Yes.
I want to start by the statement of the Interior Security Minister. You have termed that as a warning to the young people, of which I don't think that was a warning. That was just the minister doing his job, stipulating the rules and regulations during protests. That yes, you people, you are free to do a protest. That this is how you are supposed to go about it, because Kenya is a country with rules, with the regulations, with the laws, with the constitution. It's not a banana republic where you can just wake up one day, just go and do whatever you want to do, disturb the peace of other people and the normal business of other people. And he has stipulated some of the critical facility areas that the young people are supposed to keep off, and as well as the other things that I had mentioned before. We call them the critical security areas that people are not supposed to tamper with. And when they try to tamper with those areas, when they lose their lives, they will have no one to blame. And that was my point. Not to do. Everything has a limit. There is no absolute freedom. We say that absolute freedom corrupts everything. So people have the freedom to protest, but it has to be a peaceful protest. They should not carry any weapon, no stones, no sticks, no knives, no machetes. If they do it peacefully, nobody will tamper with them. And as I said, also the police, when they violate the rights of the young people, it should also be investigated and prosecuted. And we should have that balance, as much as it's okay for people to protest. And I also support someone who said the Gen Z, they have lost focus, because the moment you say you don't want to have a conversation with anyone, then there is nothing you are telling us. If the government has offered to listen to you, to stipulate exactly what you are not happy with, and you say you don't want, and you don't have any solution to your own problems, and we have a government in place, then you start to achieve nothing at the end of your protests. So it will just be a protest like any other political protest that ends with no fruits for Kenyans to enjoy. And I don't see, if you are not structured, if you don't have strategies on how to achieve what you want to be done, then you start to fail. And too much, what happens? The meat which is placed on fire, it is removed. So when you have the freedom and you misuse the freedom or you overdo it, what will happen? The law will catch up with you. At the end of the day, you find that you did not achieve anything good for the country, neither did you achieve anything good for yourself. You will see many of those people being taken to court, and the parents going to pay fines, the boards, those who violate the law, some of them will be jailed, and because they are not very strong to be able to pay some of the fines and boards, you see that they are suffering for what they haven't even been able to stipulate clearly, that this is what we want. It is easier to say we don't want the whole document, but that leaves the common mwananchi and everybody who is a critical thinker with so many questions. Do you even know exactly why you are saying you don't want it? If you cannot say, we as the young people, we are oppressed by this bill on this and that area, put it down in a structured way so that when you come even in the debate on the TV like this, you can tell the country, this is exactly what we are saying. Right now, so far, I have seen a lot of confusion, opaqueness, because they haven't done that. As much as we support them to protest, myself, I have always, since I was young, the fact that we are old today does not mean that we are not young yesterday. We were just on the same age. Myself, I've been participating in what is happening in Kenya all along, and that I want to advise the young people. If you want to achieve something, be more organized. Don't tell us about scrapping the whole document. That document will pass without your input if you don't come up with a structured way of trying to resolve what you feel you're not happy with. That's what I can say for now, Mzalendo. Let them have a conversation with the government, because we already have a government in place. But when you say you don't want to have a conversation with nobody, with the government, with the president, with the members of parliament, or with the committee, it means now you don't recognize the government. And when you don't recognize the government will have now to step up and stamp its authority to show that actually Kenya is a country governed by law and a country with the government. And to avoid that escalation, it is always good that people conduct themselves with a lot of decorum and also have a structured way of doing things. Thank you, Mr. Mzalendo.
That begs the question: what is a country? What is a country, and what those laws are meant for who? And who writes those laws? They are the people. The country is the people of Kenya, and the president swore a constitution to protect the people and the interest of Kenyans. The interest of Kenyans have come first, and the protection of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. What these young people are doing is within the law, Mr. Mburu, is within the law. There is nothing that is outside the law. Tell me of anything that they are doing that is unconstitutional. If you can answer that, then that will be very great for this particular show tonight, so that the young people stay informed to know their boundaries and what the law says about their demonstrations.
Mzalendo, I believe you listened to me clearly. I said if the protests are peaceful, they are within the parameters of the law. If they don't have any kind of weapons, if they don't block the roads, burning tires, refusing people from passing, people who have no business with the protest. Because if you're protesting, don't think everybody is protesting. If you're not happy with the bill, don't think that every feels of other people. You have your right, but your right should not infringe.
All right, that was Mburu. Can I hear from somebody else? Captain or Captain?
I think Zalendo, for me, I don't think I have any other say. Me, I just tell the agencies to give them money. We are on their side, and tomorrow is the day, which is now. And right now, I saw a start in Eldoret, just from a video that has been sent to me by somebody. And I tell them, move it. Let's move it. We need better than this. Let's move it. So then, bye. See you tomorrow.
All right, Melvin, your parting shot.
My parting shot. If people know the story of Rehoboam in the Bible, King Rehoboam, they need to go and read that. That's all I have to say.
All right, Mburu has taken off, but that was a good parting shot. Thank you for coming for 60 minutes in Africa. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Your insights have been very, very informative to tell us what the youth in Kenya are doing, and even the youth here, the youth in the US are also part of that movement in spirit. Asante sana, karibu sana tena kwa show ya Africa 24. Otherwise, awesome. Thank you guys for being part of this wonderful discussion. You guys have been awesome in the conversation and the comment section. Good year, you never disappoint. Asante sana. Leo, asante for being part of the panel. And yes, that would be it. So next time, I believe we will start a bit early. Today we had a live signal from Parliament, from Azimio quarters that we are airing, but we hope that tomorrow we will start the show much earlier, and even follow up the show during the day to see what is happening in the streets of Nairobi and in other towns in Kenya. Guys, in the comment section, asante sana, they're big up. And tomorrow, awesome, please come with your friend, tell them to come and listen in to Africa. Let them be part of the show. We hear their views also. And good year, the ambassador for Africa, asante sana for being part and parcel of this big family. Otherwise, thank you very much for keeping me company until this time. Otherwise, asante na tuonane kwa barabara kesho. Melvin, tuonane kesho. Tuonane kesho kwa barabara.
And that's why I've come to give this statement, supporting him. These boys, they are the most peaceful demonstration I've never seen in Kenya. Peaceful. Hata polisi moja aliumizwa, walikuwa wanaset bahali ya kutibiwa na wakapeleka polisi hapo akatibiwa. Kuna mtu aliiba simu akakamata yeye. Wakarudisha simu kwa mwenyewe na wakapeleka yeye kwa askari. We have never seen this. This is godly. Hii vijana demonstration wanafanya is godly. Na hakuna mtu alikuwa na vita naye. Mkisikia wale wa serikali tu walivunja duka ya simu. Hawa ni usiku wa kona walikuja. And that's why now the police should be careful. Na vijana wetu pia tuwaambie, demonstration ikifika saa yake ya kufungwa, fungeni. Kwa sababu sasa wakora wataingia ndani na wengine watatumwa. Na hii watu tu kina Kimani Ichung'wah na wako na pesa. Na kina Faruku watatuma hawa waanze kuvunja maduka ya watu ndio muwe brave. Kwa sababu they are aim. Kimani Ichung'wah, Faruku ni vijana wetu wauawe. And we are not going to agree on that at all. Be peaceful. Msiguze kitu ya mtu. Wacha wapite pole pole. And that's why I have come to give this.
The last 3 nights have been very tough for some of us. We didn't go home. We spent our night in different places, and it wasn't nice because you can't move outside the corridor. You're like actually in like home prison. It was like a house prison. And we came today to the police to avail ourselves because they were almost kidnapped me on Friday. But since now we are free and we're free to go home, we're asking the IG Kome to obey the law and to give us protection tomorrow. Tomorrow people go to the streets. Whether he likes it or not, people must reject the finance bill. That's the message. I know the president is demanding that, not demanding rather, excuse me, the president has said he wants dialogue. And it's true, Kenyans want dialogue. And the dialogue is very simple. Reject the finance bill. That's our dialogue. We are going to parliament to say reject the entire finance bill. Will the government be paralyzed if we reject the finance bill? No. There's last year's budget. We don't have to have new taxes. What Kenyans have a problem with is budgeted corruption. The money that we've been told is going to pay debt. Who are we paying? They came into office, said that money was stolen. They're not going after those thieves. They are quitting thieves every single day. And you have said this and you say over and over again. There are people in office illegally who are getting salaries. The people that we never elected were being given money, and we have a problem with that. Young people are tired. The president is saying, get a passport, leave the country, go abroad. Don't want to go abroad. Anataka tutoke Kenya, watoto tutoke Kenya wamesoma, wakoshe matako ya wazungu, Germany ama America ama place nyingine. Wakenya wataki kuosha matako ya wazungu. Wanataka kukaa kwa hii nchi, wafanye kazi kwa hii nchi. When you went to school, we were supposed to get jobs in this country. Our president, if he was here like 200 years ago, he would have been a slave owner, not in a slave ship. Because right now what he's trying to do to our young people is put them in a slave ship and take them to other countries, bring foreign money. But what debt are we paying? And right now, someone is missing. Where is Shad? When we went to Amin, he said, we don't abduct, we don't have Shad. It's the police who took Shad. Where is this Shad? Why is the president so scared of young people? Let me tell you the truth is, this protest, this movement, this reject finance bill, there's no leader. There's no one person. There's no one being paid. Those guys on the streets yesterday, the other day, last week, no one was paid. Today, the government had a paid protest. They couldn't even get 500 people to pay. Hata vijana wenyewe wangeenda kulipwa wahongo wapande kwa barabara. Walikataa. Because people are saying, we can see the wastage in this government. We can see the opulence in this government. We can see where the money is going in this government. And that money is not going into people, Kenyans' pockets. It's going to few individuals. So, our message is very simple. Whether we are going to be beaten, arrested, or even killed, we shall resist and we're going to reject the finance bill. Tomorrow is a holiday in this country. If you're not going to protest, ka nyumbani. But you're going to occupy the entire country. We're going to occupy the entire country. All the roads, show up, let us be heard. The dialogue we want is reject the finance bill. That is it. And if the country is broke, reduce salaries. Stop traveling all the time. Reduce salaries of your ministers, of members of parliament. If you're broke as a country, let us live within our budget. You can't tell us you're broke and then you're spending so much money on personal travel, carpet, office furniture, cars, giving your wife money who was never elected, giving the deputies money who was never elected, giving him whatever the money which is an illegal office. All this money that is going to people's pockets, and at the same time, refusing to fund school feeding programs. The president is a hypocrite, the president is a liar, and is a lying coward. because he can't face us. That's the reason why he's spending GSU, guns, batons, tear gas, water cannons. He's a fucking coward. Mwambieni mwoga. If he's a man enough, reject the finance bill. We know very well he bribed members of parliament. He can't bribe us. Who are you going to bribe? People don't want money. They want jobs. We don't want passports. We want jobs in our own country. We want to be safe. Come. Your time is coming. Even you're a coward. You are in that office. It's independent. Why are you killing our brothers and sisters? Why are you doing that? Tell the president people are angry because you can see through his lies. And the chickens are coming home to roost. Guess who's Gen Z? Those young police officers, those young army officers, those are the Gen Zs. You should be very afraid of them. Me, I'm old. I'll go pay vijana. Because of vijana, they are not their parents. They are not cowards. They are going to fight him wherever he is. Mr. President, killing us, arresting us, whatever you want to do with us, won't change anything. You promise people jobs, give them jobs, not passports. You promise people jobs, not prayers. We don't want prayers. Fuck your prayers.
Si hatuwezi enda. Jensi ni watoto wetu na hatuwezi enda. I just have such holy indignation. We can't be quiet, church. We can't. It's not about Gen Z, it's about our lives. I buried my grandmother last year. She was 105. I'm 45. Sitaishi 50 years more in this country. But it's about me. It's about us. It's not just about our kids. It's about us. What about us? Tuende tuweke tent hapo tupeane maji. Watu wakidemonstrate. Mtu akiumia mbebe. Tutakaa kwa manyumba zetu na umwana mkuu na baba Kaluma. Let's get serious, bana. You guys, Christians, we're saying we have the word of the Lord. We're not taking it out in the streets. Mbona usibebe placard imeandikwa justice is the foundation of his throne. Mbona? Why don't you write scriptures on placards and walk out with them and declare the word of the Lord in those streets? We just want to say, look at the kids. What are they saying? There were such unholy placards out there, but where were the Christian placards? Where are the scriptures about justice that we can write and go out? We are the church, and the church of this day. Ndo tuliingiza hii government, alafu tunyamaze wakianza kutunyanyasa. Honestly, I'm calling us out today. Why haven't we talked about this finance bill anywhere in our groups, in church? Hatujai discuss. This is beyond the finance bill. Na watu wakiongea huko nje, si tuko home. Watu wakiongea X, tumenyamaza. We're just quiet. We are the quiet generation. Surely, mimi nitakuwa kwa streets on Tuesday. And I pray I can go there with my fellow Christians. Tuchukue hizo placards tuandike scripture tuende. You think our children will remember how we were singing and dancing? They'll remember how we stood for justice. Me, my kids, by the way, they're just looking at me like, na mnasema nini nyinyi watu wa church? You as a Christian, what are you saying? You think these children will get disheartened about God because of us kunyamaza? Let's take this praise and worship to the streets. This is our moment to be Gideons. Our sword in hand as we go and rebuild those walls. By the way, we are not winning this thing on our knees. We are winning these things as we go out. Who said you can't pray on the streets? Who said you can't pray as you're demonstrating? Ebu tutoke hiyo prayer closet. Beba hiyo maombi peleka kwa streets. Hatuwezi kaa in our quiet time. What is this? We are not winning this on our knees. We are winning it. We will be on our knees in the streets.
Okay, good morning, church. My name is Michael. I'd like to start with the Thanksgiving first. On both Tuesday and Thursday, my sister and I went for the protest in the CBD. So I'd like to thank God for his favor, because we could have easily been Rex, Masai, or Billy. Secondly, the NCCK church and the mosque have come out condemning the finance bill. So as we continue paying for the country, I think it's deeply important that we get the stance of the IC church as well.
I'll pray for the country, because we do not know the will of God on the finance bill, and we don't know what is behind it. So, Michael, you'll allow me to pray for the will of God. Yeah.
Anini nane muthenya wa keri ithuothe turaumira kumira tukarugane mundu uke na kiremba na ndarama na gya gucenjia na karingaringa na thimkara ri ni weka hoiti handu ira mutwe bururi uyu wa Kenya ni witu na tutigwetika kuhinyirio tukionaga mundu uyu ona kama uri urari ho nginya mwana mutira muiguira tha andu abo tax mokinya kiremba ri mara tax kinya kiremba riswa bazi haisio badi haisio content creator maraisio serious moka Tuesday na kero kia white ona ndara moke nayo na karingaringa basigana kana irato yako na mai yako ile tia gasi ngelifoka bas wali kwa kireba kulia rakaru ndara mana karingaringa kirosho Tuesday mama mano